Hello everyone, you are welcome to my channel. Ghana 4, are you surprised about the removal of the e-levy and the introduction of the D-levy? I'm not sure you are. By the way, if you are surprised, let me remind you of something. MPP no, edura batu obre so say na amanyoku bia epre. De eye no kre na wo ka entra na wo de fam. De obeye na omanfo na koma bedane ama wo no eno na obeye sawokai. But listen, areas one se utwa nkontompo ma osafo ayera woda wonten Mr. Mama wotwa nkontompo ama na safo ayera na obeda wonten, in a sense that Ghanaians will skin him alive. You know, the reason why the e-levy, betting tax, and the COVID tax came into being was to widen the tax net to avoid the nation going to IMF for help. Unfortunately, it was greeted with fierce opposition because the main opposition then, the NDC, opposed it vehemently and even rode on the back of the people's disapproval to campaign and promised its removal should they be elected to power. Now, God being so good, the NDC came to power and, as a partial fulfillment of their campaign promises, removed the e-levy and the betting tax. Now, take a look at something. The person who has pledged to raise the tax revenue to GDP ratio from 13.8% to 16% is scraping taxes. And at the same time, promising not to bring any more taxes. But when he was asked, how are you going to reach your target if you scrape these taxes? His answer was, we don't necessarily have to increase taxes before we can generate revenue. Okay. But you know, Margaret Thatcher, she said something, said everything a politician promises at election time has to be paid for by either higher taxation or by borrowing. Now, Atu said he's not going to bring any more taxes. He scraped what is there and he's not going to bring any more taxes because there are so many ways to generate revenue without imposing taxes. Okay. Yeah, that was all. Thank God for that. And we thank them for that. Now, since they rode on the back of propaganda to power, they feel compelled to scrape these taxes because their propaganda has caught up with them. The people were calling for it, and so they had no choice but to scrape it. Now, the budget was presented on Tuesday, 11th March. Barely 3 months after presenting the budget and blowing their horn that they've scraped this, they scraped that, Atu is in Parliament as a matter of urgency to present a cutthroat tax under certificate of urgency. Why? Because the populist or his populist approach has caught up with him. Reason, his removal of these two taxes, but thank God he did not remove the COVID tax. His removal of these two taxes, namely the e-levy and the betting tax, has muddied the waters. Now they are in the soup boiling. The government is dying. He's bleeding through the nose and the mouth. He's bleeding from both the nose and the mouth. The government is now on intensive care. he must be operated to save his life. Doctors are already in the theater, and since it is cash and carry, Forson must do everything possible to save the government. So now, Forson has run to Parliament to force them sign a bill under certificate of urgency. He is imposing a whoopee 1 Ghana per litre levy on fuel. A very biting tax. Now, did you remember if you want light, pay more? I think in 20th or 19th October 2015. If you want light, pay more. And you paid additional 59%. Did you get light then? So, what is the proof that paying additional 1 Ghana will solve this problem? Now, compare e-levy, betting tax, and COVID tax. This D-levy will bite you more than all these three combined. Now, today, we have someone like Mr. Godwin Eduzi Tamaklu, the MPA boss, appealing to Ghanaians that the D-levy, the Dumsor levy, is painful but necessary. Afa Blondie sang a song. Wuriye, Wanye wuri, politiki manyi, politiki kolombare, Wanye farati, politiki kolombare. Also, politics is not good. And it is true. It is true. Politics is not good. So, Mr. Eduzi Tamaklu want to tell Ghanaians that the e-levy, the betting tax, and the COVID tax weren't necessary. They weren't. So, through your populism, you remove them. Now you see where you are. You see where you find yourself. Now, okay, if we are sick, we be control. Now we got a sasadrono. We jaya no man de man ante sem nante kwaya ase a nankeye. Enkeye. Mr. Mama kafanya baba tere. Na labana ko. No wonder ma afani tugu ebu afaraka. Parce que biya ko atitiafo. Mr. Mama twan toro kese pa na nyese obeda abontene nko. Na won tuma so be pa na obiya be hu se onka no kore. Onye no kwafo. And then they will say he was not elected to power to take soft decisions. Sir, so decisions will be a bold ones. Ono kwane de on. Kama. Everybody will know that he's not faithful. I'm saying all this to say that if the government could not wait for a mid-year budget review before presenting anything new, if ATO could not help but present this cut-throat tax under certificate of urgency, then Ghana for you have a big case to make a pocho. Mo wasem a bonopo pa. Unim, samo wa dancing be with ya mun fe bi mutu if you say the free sroban. I know what thing. By the way, my dear, thanks for watching. See you in another video. Bye.